everyone, I figured it was about time I got to film my empties video because it is the last day of March, craziness, but yeah, so I thought I should film my empties for the month. I have a lot of things that I've used up this month. I don't know, again, don't know how I've managed it, didn't think I was going to, and then suddenly all this stuff just started emptying out and now I have a basket full of them. So I'll just get through it and start talking because there's a lot to get through. It's quite a hairy one this month, as in like most of the things are to do with hair care. So I suppose I'll do them first. I've got a shampoo and conditioner here from the John Frieda Luxurious Volume range, which just look like this. Basically shampoo and a conditioner. Nothing special. John Frieda I find for the drugstore, like Super Drug Boots, just chuck that one on the floor, are quite an expensive range. In terms of like shampoo and conditioner, they're kind of up there with the Aussie ones. To me, a little bit more expensive than normal. So yeah, I was kind of expecting these to be quite nice, and I don't know, I had kind of high hopes for them. The Luxurious Volume range, I thought, right, it's a new range, love a bit of volumizing products. These didn't really do anything, they weren't awful, it didn't do anything bad in my hair. They just kind of were standard shampoo and conditioner that just clean my hair, put a bit of moisture back into it, but nothing exciting at all, nothing groundbreaking. And I suppose I can't really expect much from a shampoo and conditioner, but these weren't as good as my Aussie favourites. Yeah, didn't do an awful lot and I wouldn't buy them again. Very quickly, Batiste dry shampoo. This was very at the end, at the beginning of the month, so I haven't used this up through the month. This was just like right at the beginning. Love this, rebought it again for about the millionth time. And yeah, it's my every other day staple in between hair washing days because my hair likes to be very greasy and I don't want to wash it every morning. So yeah, this is my in between days staple, and it keeps my hair from looking really greasy and nasty, and yeah, it smells really nice as well, this one. So yeah, love this. And another dry shampoo, which is why I was saying that one I didn't use it up through the month. I finished that one probably first or second of the month and then bought this one and used this up through the month, which it's a bit more expensive than Batiste, so using one of these up or more throughout like the month would be kind of expensive, but I thought I'd give it a go anyway because it was on offer. It's the Dove Refresh+Care dry shampoo. Looks like this. This was nicer than other dry shampoos that I've tried. I like to try out all the different ones. I tried like Tresemme, VO5, other different ones like that, and they don't always compare to the Batiste. None of them I'll buy again. They do have a completely different feel to that, in that they leave your hair feeling like a different kind of clean. Batiste is kind of powdery and a bit, not gritty, just like you can definitely feel that it's there and it really gets rid of the grease. Whereas them ones are much more lightweight, so suitable for anyone that doesn't really want to feel it and isn't used to that kind of thing, doesn't like it. You can't feel them really or see them at all, but they don't do as good of a job to me and they just leave my hair looking kind of wet. This one is sort of in between, as in it didn't feel as powdery anywhere near as the Batiste and kind of left that clean feeling that the others had, but it also was quite volumizing, so there must have been some form of powderiness to it a little bit, and you could definitely get quite a lot of volume with it, even more than the Batiste. I felt it kind of straight away was like boom, and it had a lot of volume. So yeah, this was good for that. I'm dropping things today, but it had quite a strong scent as well, so that would kind of be a love or hate thing. I wasn't mad on it, it wasn't like my favourite smell, but every time I wore it for going to work, my manager was always like, oh, you're wearing that dry shampoo, I can smell it again, because I told her what the smell was. And I don't know, it just kind of made me feel a bit strange that people could smell a dry shampoo ahead of my perfume. So yeah, that wasn't a big selling point for me, but worth a try, and yeah, I'm glad I tried it, but I wouldn't buy it again, I don't think. Back to my Batiste. Another hair product I have is from Bedhead, the TIGI Bedhead range, and I've had this for such a long time, I think maybe like 3 years, and I just thought it's time to use this up. I've had it around for too long. It's the Headrush Shine Adrenaline, so it's basically a shine spray or mist, shine mist. It was nice. I wouldn't buy it again, just put that out there, just don't really need this in my life. It was nice, it smelled really nice, and it did give your hair some extra shine, but mostly I like my hair to be like this, like kind of, it's got a little bit of shine to it, but kind of like matte feeling. I don't know, that's just my style at the minute. And this was kind of like the shiny, sleek way of doing it. It smelled really fruity and nice, it had a really nice scent. And this honestly lasted for ages. Probably wouldn't last as long as I used to use it every day, but I didn't use it every day. It's just a little extra in your routine at the end of your routine. when you've styled your hair, just spray mist over it and it makes it a little bit more shiny. Nothing groundbreaking, nothing wow shiny, just like a little bit more shiny. So yeah, I wouldn't buy that again. Shine sprays, I don't really feel like I need them in my life. And the last hair care product, which I feel like I've had a lot this month because I never usually use up this many styling products. 2 styling products is a lot for me. And it's the Milkshake Conditioning Whipped Cream. Yeah, which looks like this. It looks a bit grubby on the top. But I had a half-size version of this in a glossy box. And so after that I went and bought the full size, which I really like when I've actually liked a product from glossy box enough to want to purchase it. That's the whole purpose of it. So yeah, I went and bought the full size. This is, I'll just tell you what it is first. Use it as like kind of leave-in conditioner. So like I'll wash my hair and then I'll have damp hair ready to dry it, and before I dry it I would squirt this in my palm like mousse, but just use it like from the ends of my hair like a conditioner, and it smelled amazing. It smelled exactly like whipped cream, like squirty cream. Looked like it, felt like it. Didn't feel like a mousse, it felt like creamy. And I love this because I couldn't put too much in. I'm quite heavy-handed with hair products and I've got very fine hair. So if I put too much in, it goes really gross, and it's very, very easy for me to go overboard. Like just by one little spray or something will make it go too far. Whereas this, I could put loads and loads and loads of this in my hair and it would never feel weighed down or greasy, which I find is a problem for most kind of conditioning, leave-in conditioner things. They will leave my hair looking greasy in no time, whereas this, I could use loads of it and it never ever did that. It just left my hair feeling soft, and it's got like heat protectant and things in. So that was always made me feel good about myself, but I put heat protectant in the ends of my hair and it was nice and creamy and soft and conditioning, and yeah, I really liked it. However, this one, some kind of mechanism in it broke about halfway through using it, and the like aerosol part of it kind of broke and I got all this kind of brown gunk that came out, which is really gross, and it started to smell a bit dodgy. Like the creamy smell that was gorgeous went a bit off. I still kept using it because it was still working fine. In fact, but it kind of went a bit runny and didn't like foam up, like go like moussey, air whipped or anything like that. It just kind of came out like liquid, but it still did its job. But that is something to bear in mind, that it didn't work properly in the end. But I suppose that was just my tube, nothing to do with the product, and I would use the product again. I move on to body care, and then I've got some facial skincare and a little bit of makeup. First things first, deodorant, really boring one. It's the Sure Long Lasting Protection in the Bright fragrance. I like these little compressed ones. I think they're quite cute considering you get like more product in them than you would normally, kind of. I can't describe it very well, but there's stuff on it online telling you how it works. But yeah, you get more than I would expect to get in this basically. And these last me a very long time. I like the fragrance, the Bright fragrance. It's very nice and yeah, does the job. Just a deodorant, and I do repurchase this one over and over. It's my favourite deodorant. I have a few moisturising products. First I have the Parma's Cocoa Butter, just the standard tube of that. This lasts me for ages because it's so thick and you get quite a lot in this tube, so a little goes a long way with it. But it's just the most moisturiser ever. Like this is my #1 for taking on holiday and you've got some kind of little bit of sunburn but you want to prolong your tan and things and you don't want to peel and you just want to put as much moisture in your skin as possible. This is the best one. So if you have dry skin, scaly skin, horrible, anything like that, this will sort it out in a day or two. It's amazing and it smells exactly like cocoa butter, like really chocolatey, like pure chocolate. It smells like Cocoa Pops or something to me. It's amazing. So if you don't like that, you won't like this, but they do fragrance-free version, which I can totally see why they would need to do that because some people really won't like the scent, but the formula of it, that works perfect. It's amazing and I will definitely repurchase this, especially for when I go on holiday in June. It's so good. Another moisturiser I have is the Nip+Fab Pistachio Sundae Dry Skin Fix Body Butter, which is just this little green tube. You can see there's nothing left of it. This is the second tub I've had of this and I used to love it. I love the scent. But now, oh my god, that turns my stomach. It is that sickly. It is so sickly sweet. It smells like macaroon or pistachios or something like that. But it's just like so overpoweringly strong. I don't know, I think I've kind of turned away in my old age from liking sweet scents as much as this. I love the Parma still, the chocolatey smell, but this is just wow, like sickly. So I won't be buying this again. But the formula of it was quite nice. It wasn't as heavy as the Palmer's, but you don't always want that like all the time. I don't always want the heaviest possible body butter. This is a bit more light. But it does, you can kind of feel it on the skin. It doesn't sink in that nice. So it's not the best body butter. I've tried like Soap and Glory ones are a much nicer formula. And this is more expensive. For you get this is quite expensive. I think it's about £5 or something for this little tub, which probably would last me a week tops if I used it every day. Which is quite expensive, but they do have other scents like the mango one, which is really, really nice. It smells like mango yogurt. It's beautiful, but I wouldn't buy this scent again. But if you like pistachio, you will love this. It smells amazing. When I used to love it, I was like obsessed with it, but now I'm a little bit sick of it and it is very sickly. Another little one that I bought just on a whim at Lush was the Lush Charity Pot Hand and Body Lotion, which come in these tiny little tins. They sell you these when you go to the till and they're only £1 and the money goes to charity. So it's always like a little nice thing to chuck in at the end. And yeah, I've used it all up and I really actually like the lotion that comes in this. It's nice and thin. So it's like the complete polar opposite of the Palmer's, which I love as well. It's very thin and spreads very far and feels quite expensive. Like an expensive body lotion. That it's kind of like similar formula to the more expensive ones that I've tried. And yeah, the scent is non-offensive at all. It's very light and it's just a lovely little tub to have, especially say you're going away for a weekend or something. This would do your body like once or twice because it's so tiny, but they put the lotion in it goes so far. And yeah, I would totally recommend picking them up at the till if you're in Lush, because very nice. And I would actually consider buying whatever is the big tub of this, because hopefully they do that, but it is very nice lotion and I will continue to buy them, especially because I quite like the little tins for travel. And so say I want to put my foundation or something, it's a perfect tiny little size to pack in your suitcase. So yeah, I will be keeping this tin to take things on holiday with me. And the last little moisturising product I have is the Caudalie Divine Oil, which is a sample I actually got from Space NK about a year ago, and I just got round to finishing it up. This is very, very nice. I love this stuff. Basically you squirt it out, which is very handy because a lot of oils you kind of tip out and that can get messy. Whereas this you spray on your skin and rub it in and it's lovely feeling. It smells really, really nice and luxurious, and the feeling of the oil just feels so luxurious and divine, as I would say. It's like a dry oil, like it doesn't feel like greasy, like if you put baby oil all over you, that would just feel gross, and I've done it before and it feels gross. Whereas this just is like really nice, like it sinks in but leaves it feeling really silky smooth. Yeah, I would buy this again. I think it's quite expensive though, and this was only the travel size, but you can get a bigger size, and I would consider buying it because it was gorgeous. I've got a little tiny Sanctuary sample here, which is the Resurface and Refine Ultra Polish body scrub. Basically, wouldn't buy this again. It was a bit rubbish, to be honest. I didn't find that it scrubbed very well. It wasn't really scrubby. I know it says ultra polish, but by that I expect it to have like tiny little micro beads or little scrubby, tiny scrubby bits that would be like really good at getting into like all the little dry bits and stuff, you know what I mean. But it didn't have any of that. It was just kind of blur, and I feel like Sanctuary should have better products than this because they're quite an expensive brand and quite well regarded in terms of like body care. And yeah, I was not impressed by this, and it's the first Sanctuary product I've tried, which is quite disappointing because I really wanted to enjoy it. But yeah, wouldn't buy that again. I have a razor. I never normally mention razors because I use the same one all the time, which is the Venus one. But this one got in a glossy box again, and I thought I would use it up, and now I will tell you what I think about it. And it was the Intuition one, and it looks like this massive, huge thing, and then it has the razor, and around it had this huge block of like soap, which is now obviously worn down completely, but it was like up to here. It was huge. This is really weird, and I wouldn't buy it again. It has its pros and cons. With the soapy thing, you use it up unevenly, so that's not very great because say there's loads left up here and nothing left here. And the soap itself was quite dry, and I felt very tight on my legs and things when I'd used it, and I felt really needed to moisturise. But it was a good idea because it did like make it so much easier to shave, as in I didn't have to like lather up my legs or anything. You just go straight in with this and it is like soaping up your legs, and it's really quick and easy if you're on the go or something. And yeah, if it wasn't for drying out skin, that was a good idea. However, this razor bit, because of this obviously getting a bit smaller and bigger, this has to be able to move with the size of the soap. So like it was further out, as you can see, like there, and then it went in like that. So that meant it kind of moved when you were using it, and I did give myself a few razor cuts with this when I never normally do. And I don't know, as much as it seems like a quick and easy idea, this thing of this moving around was kind of annoying while I was using it, and it did lead to a few little injuries. So I won't be buying this again, and I'll just be going back to lathering up my own legs and using my good old Venus razor. And the last little kind of body bit I've got is the Avon Nail Experts Exfoliating Manicure, which I've had for a very long time. It's just this little glass vial, which basically had a little apricot kernel type scrub in it, like oily scrub, and it came out of this little, you had this little applicator and you just dabbed it around your cuticles and then sat and rubbed it in and then rinsed it off before you did like a manicure, and it did scrub away any little dead bits of cuticles and moisturise them a bit ahead of like doing your nails. It was really nice. Obviously I've used most of it up now, it's just got a little bit in the bottom that I can't really reach. I don't think I'd buy it again because it was a bit of a non-necessity. I didn't really use it every time. I just ended up using it up the end because I only had a little bit left. I've had it for years, and I just wanted to use it up. So yeah, I wasn't really using it consciously thinking, yeah, this is great. It was alright, but I feel like you could do the same with a nail brush and a bit of soap or something, so, and a bit of cuticle oil afterwards. And I prefer to kind of do that way rather than using this scrub thing. So yeah, it was a nice idea. I don't even know if you can still buy it anymore. Worth a try, and it was a nice little novelty, but I don't think I'll buy it again. Right, I've done a few makeup bits first because only two, and I have this little eyeliner. I use eyeliners up quite often because I use black kind of coal eyeliners quite a lot, and this was the Rimmel one. There's no point showing it up close because all you can see is like a little stump of black eyeliner. But yeah, this was the Rimmel, I can't remember what they're called, the kind of new like gel eyeliner pencils. They do them like, people want mad for like the nude and the taupe ones, and I have the nude one and I finished with the black one. These were very similar to my favourite Avon Super Shock pencils, and apparently very similar to the Urban Decay Glide On 24-hour pencils. Just the lovely black gel formula of the pencils, just amazing. And so much cheaper than like the Urban Decay ones, much more easily accessible than my Avon ones, but I'm still using them because I've got a few. But yeah, I will go back to buying these because they are much more easily accessible because you don't get them at work or your local Superdrug or anything. They're so cheap and they're like the best formula ever. They're like so black, and in one stroke you get like the thickest blackest line, and they're nice and easy to smudge, but then once they're set, and you cannot get that off until you try to. So you can do it in your waterline, tight line with it and everything, and it stays like black's black all day. It doesn't like smudge, or it's not like wishy-washy greyish black. It's just the black's black. Best eyeliner pencils ever. Another makeup item is one that's featured quite a lot. It actually sort of my last March favourites, and in that video, which was a year ago, I was saying how I'm trying to use this up, and now it's taken me a year, but I have used this up, and it's the e.l.f. Contouring Blush and Bronzing Powder Duo. Obviously there's nothing in it, but there was a bronzer which I featured a few empties ago because I did actually use the bronzer up, but still had quite a bit of blush to go. And I finally finished the blush as well. I've had this for probably like 3 to 4 years, and I did enjoy using it, but it was just getting to the point where it was kind of mostly empty, and I've got quite a lot of other blushes and it takes up quite a bit of room in my collection, and I just thought I'll just use this up. I would buy it again if I wasn't sick to death of it by now, because I've been using it like every day to try and get it used up. But it is lovely, and it wasn't a hardship using it every day because it goes with just about every makeup look. The blushes is what I'm talking about, because I talk about the bronzer in that other Empties video. But yeah, start with that. The bronzer is nice. It's kind of shimmery, but I can deal with it. It was a nice bronzer. It's nicer than like the Bourjois chocolate one that I used. Didn't really like that one. This, for being so cheap, was a nice bronzer, but the blusher, it was my favourite thing from the duo, and it was a nice peachy pink. Should have left a little bit in to at least show you. But yeah, it was a nice peachy pink, and it was just had a little bit of shimmer to it, and just went with absolutely everything that I'm saying. It wasn't too bright, like you could swish a lot quite on your brush, and then it wouldn't be like, wow, like far too much pigment on your face. I was quite heavy-handed with it, and it didn't ever make us look like a clown, I hope. But yeah, for being so cheap, this is amazing, and it was kind of trying to be like a copy of the NARS duo of like Laguna Bronzer and Orgasm Blush, but to me this blush is better than Orgasm for a fraction of the price, so that alone is reason enough to buy this, and it lasted me for years. And the last few bits I've got are skincare bits, and the first I've got is the Elemis Rehydrating Rosepetal Cleanser. I used this up for the sake of wanting to use this up, but ended up actually quite liking it. I got it in a gift a few Christmases ago. Now originally I was using it like it's the way it says, like on the back, which was like on dry makeup and then tissuing it off like with cotton wool, and that's like not really my favourite way to cleanse my face, so I moved on to just using like a normal cleanser, in that I would still put it on dry makeup and use it to take off that way, and then use it hot cloth, so I was using it kind of like the Lizzle cleansing polish, and it worked that way much better for me. What I didn't like about this the most was the rose scent. I'm not really a rose person, and this was just a pure rose scent, which you would totally get from the rose petal part of the title, but yeah, that was kind of off-putting, but I got used to it. Not really my favourite smell, but I could deal with it. It was a nice cleanser, but again, nothing mind-blowing, so I wouldn't buy it again. It was just like creamy, didn't break me out or anything, and didn't strip my skin or anything. That was just nice, kind of balancing, but again, nothing like wow. Like I like a lot of my skincare products to like really impress me, and this was like just alright. And what I did like about it was that it didn't sting my eyes. I could use this, rub it right in my eyes to take my eye makeup off, and it did not sting at all, which is something I really look for in a cleanser. I hate when I buy a cleanser and then it says do not, warning, do not get in your eyes or something. Like, what is the point if I can't take my eye makeup off with it as well? So that was a plus point for it, but not really impressive. Did like the packaging though, it's very nice and matte and luxurious feeling. I like the pump, but yeah, nice if you're looking for straight up, pretty boring but useful cleanser, but nothing that impressed me too much. I have a little sample here, which is the Strivectin SH Age Protect SPF 30. So it's basically a little SPF. Don't know why I kept the box, but it's just in this little tube like this. And this lasted me quite a while. I actually took this on holiday to Ibiza last year, and then ended up digging it out because I wanted to start using SPF every day, which so far I've been doing quite well. And this was SPF 30, so quite a nice level SPF, and it did actually protect me every day on holiday. It was quite sun creamy though, if you know what I mean, in that it was like very white, and you could definitely feel it on your skin. It was quite a thin version, but you could definitely tell it was sun cream. But it didn't interfere too much with the makeup or anything. I could still wear makeup and it didn't like make it too like oil slick. But yeah, probably wouldn't purchase again because I think it's quite expensive, and there are other ones that are a lot thinner and more like a moisturiser. You can't really tell it on your skin, so for that reason I wouldn't buy this again. And the last empty I've got, which is something that I'm really sad about and I'm going to have to go and spend £30 something on, is the Origins High Potency Nightingale Cream. This is just my standard everyday night cream. Yeah, this is just the #1 nighttime moisturiser for me. I think this is the second or third possible tube bottle of this that I've had, and yeah, obviously it's all gone. This took me by surprise because I felt like I had quite a lot left, and then one day my finger just reached the bottom and I was like, oh. And then like 2 weeks later this was gone, and I'm like, what do I do now, because I need this in my life, and I don't even have any little samples of night cream or anything to use up, so now I'm panicking and I need to buy this again. I wouldn't really consider even buying another one, like a different brand. I mean, I would consider buying another one of these, and yeah, I will be going straight back to this because I don't know why, it just feels like it leaves my skin so nourished and soft in the morning that when I wake up and I wash it off, my skin just feels like really like soft and plump and just really, really nice, and I feel like it does some good to my skin. And yeah, I wouldn't really feel the need to try any other ones because it's quite thin in that it can spread quite far on your face. You don't need a lot of product at a time, just like a tiny little dab, rub it in, but it's still quite rich in that it feels very nourishing, and yeah, but it doesn't feel too thick and heavy and like it's suffocating your face. So yeah, I really, really like this. Origins is just my favourite skincare brand, and yeah, I will definitely be buying another one of these. And that is everything. Another huge empties this month. Crazy, I don't know how I manage it, but yeah, and that is it. So thanks for watching, guys. Don't forget to like and subscribe if you managed to get to the end, and yeah, I will see you in my next video. Bye.